The Chinese-founded fast fashion chain Shein has been on the fast track for a U.S. IPO, trying its best to win over investors, regulators, as well as the broader retail industry. So far, though, the charm offensive has failed to win acceptance from the National Retail Federation. CNBC.com retail reporter Gabrielle Fonrouge is tracking that story. What's the holdup here?
So Shein has tried to become a member of the National Retail Federation multiple times. It keeps getting rejected. We don't actually know why. What my sources have told me is that there's somebody with sway within the organization that is against it. And let's break this down a little bit. The CEO of the NRF is Matt Shea. Matt Shea, we don't actually know who decides who becomes a member, but Matt Shea keeps close counsel with his board of directors on the NRF. There's a lot of board of directors, but there's also an executive committee and there's also a leadership committee. There's a lot of retail executives on those committees. You've got Walmart, you've got Target, Macy's, Levi's, Albertsons, some luxury players, LVMH. So whether or not those executives are against this and are holding it up, we don't know, but we do know they keep close counsel with him.
It is called the National Retail Federation. So I guess the question is, it's kind of like the GDP, GMP. Are we defining this like within the borders of who's operating? But you mentioned already other foreign brands that have become part of this. So would Shein be unusual in being a foreign brand that was excluded, or would it be unusual in being a foreign brand that was included?
So it would be, it's hard to say because, like you said, we've got LVMH on the board already. Adidas is a member. If you're doing a lot of retailing in the U.S., you can be part of the NRF. That's what board members that I spoke to told me. As long as you're primarily engaged in retailing, you know, Shein's largest market is in the United States. So it does raise the question, are you only excluding this retailer because they were founded in China? And then also, you know, NRF they've got to make money as well. They make their money by membership dues. And what these board of directors told me is they're trying to grow membership right now. And they want to expand internationally. So where do you draw the line?
I guess the bottom line question is, who cares? Why would Shein care?
Tyler, there's a very important reason why this matters. Shein wants to go public in the U.S. and nobody really likes Shein in the U.S. It has to win over lawmakers, it has to win over regulators, and of course the broader retail industry. It's been on this charm offensive. It's been trying to convince everyone that it can be trusted on American exchanges. If it earns a stamp of approval.
Trusted with U.S. customer data mostly, or
for investors?
With all of it. If it can be trusted as an American public company, if we can trust what they're putting in their regulatory filings, things like that. If they earn a stamp of approval from the National Retail Federation, it is the largest retail trade association in the country, globally as well, we believe. And they have Walmart, Microsoft, Google. They have the largest tech companies and retailers on the planet. If Shein is sitting at that table, that could legitimize it in the eyes of regulators.
And so they become a part of a fraternity, so to speak. In other words, it gives them a kind of power. One of the concerns with Shein, am I correct or incorrect, is the sourcing of some of her garments.
That is absolutely a concern, and that's one of the main things that lawmakers are talking about. They want to make sure that Shein is sourcing its goods from areas where forced labor is not an issue. But that's where a little bit of this hypocrisy comes into play. This is something we've talked about before in this show. Forced labor in raw materials is a problem across the fashion industry, and a lot of the mega corporations that are on NRF's board have faced these same kind of issues. Look at Nike, for example. One of Nike's executives was on the board of the NRF Foundation a couple of years ago. When Shein went under investigation by House lawmakers, Nike got the same letter. So did Adidas. So
interesting. And Temu, do you know, have they tried to become part of the NRF? Are they involved at all?
Temu is a black box.
Okay.
They don't like to talk to us. They have not done anywhere near the sort of charm offensive that Shein has done. Shein has really tried to ingratiate itself with American regulators, with American retailers, with the public, with the media. Temu, not so much. So we're not sure about them.
Wonder if it'll just be a matter of time. Still fascinating hold up. Gabby, thanks for bringing that to us. We appreciate it. Gabrielle Fonrouge.